So I'm a repeat entrepreneur. I had several companies in the past, and for my next project, I wanted to do something that has a massive global impact, can help a lot of people, and then also push the boundaries of what is possible with technology. So cardiology is the number one cause of death worldwide. And there is a device that has been around for more than 100 years already, and that is the 12-lead ECG machine. And now with the 12-lead ECG machine, a good cardiologist can detect maybe 40, 50 different cardiovascular conditions. But unfortunately, 9 in 10 of these ECGs are not done by cardiologist physicians. So they're done by primary care physicians, nurses, emergency responders, and so forth, who unfortunately are only trained to be able to say this is normal and this is abnormal. And according to studies, only in about 70% of the cases they're correct. And really, the inspiration for the product came, we have the ECG, which is a great test, accessible to the wide, medical professional public. And we wanted to bring a tool that allows any healthcare professional with this ECG machine to really diagnose the ECG like a cardiologist who has been doing it for the last 30 years. So at the moment, heart attacks are still the number one cause of death. And this is even though we already have all the technology needed to treat them, provided that we can diagnose them early enough. And still, while heart attacks kill approximately 10 million patients every year, still about 30 to some sources say 50% of them get initially misdiagnosed, leading to delays in treatment. And as my cardiologist friends like to say, time is muscle, the heart muscle in this case. And the sooner you're able to diagnose them, the heart attacks, the better the patient outcome will be, because the sooner you're able to treat them. And at the moment, one of our core focuses is definitely this heart attack diagnostics, because we've managed to train an algorithm on angiographic outcomes to really diagnose them with about double the sensitivity of the current standard of care. And also, we're able to see them about 3 hours sooner than a human would. So now this is really a revolution in heart attack diagnostics, and we've actually already successfully implemented this in centers both across Europe and the US, and we really see a massive benefit. So we're able to decrease the time to treatment in heart attack cohorts in some subgroups by as much as 13 hours, which is quite significant since the guidelines say you need to treat heart attacks within 2 hours in order for the patient not to have permanent damage. Last year, we've released our product for individual healthcare professionals. We call it PM Cardio for Individuals. And even though our AI technology that is certified in Europe to diagnose 39 different cardiovascular diseases is quite complex in its nature, we managed to package it into a nice user-friendly product. So we packaged it into a mobile application for iOS and Android, where all you have to do is just take a picture of any ECG recording from any ECG device. We're able to digitize it, and then within seconds diagnose up to 39 different cardiovascular conditions, and also recommend treatment for them in accordance to the clinical practice guidelines. And we've released this PM Cardio for Individuals in April last year in Europe. And to date, we already have over 45,000 healthcare professionals registered on the platform. And in the last 18 months, they've already screened about 500,000 patients. Now, this is a massive volume, and this is around 2% of all healthcare professionals in Europe already using our technology. So we're very proud of that. We started out as a team in Europe, and just as we had the first certifiable version of our product, COVID hit. So really the US was something that seemed quite far away at that point. So we decided to certify first in Europe and are now a fully certified medical device under the NDR regulation. And this kind of led us to then also launch in Europe. So the key markets for us in the beginning were the Netherlands and Belgium. It's kind of a home base for us. And then also the UK, but we're now also scaling to France and Germany. So we want to become the standard of care with what we call our PM Cardio AI-powered chest pain pathway. So this is the algorithm that was trained on angiographic outcomes to diagnose heart attacks. And what this pretty much means is we want to get into the clinical practice guidelines. And in order to do that, we've already onboarded the former president of the society in the US, Sky, that writes the heart attack guidelines over there. And we also have the ex-president of EAPCI, so the society writing the guidelines for heart attacks in Europe. On top of that, of course, we're also running a lot of independent clinical evaluation and clinical trials. We've recently received a massive research grant from the European Commission to run, I believe, just the 6th ever AI-powered prospective randomized control trial for an AI-powered medical device in Europe. And we're doing all of these activities for a very simple reason, and that is really so that in 2026 or 2027, we're already featured within the guidelines as a standard diagnostic tool to diagnose these chest pain patients for heart attacks. In the beginning of 2024, we've released PM Cardio for Organizations, which is our enterprise-grade product for the whole health system. And as you know, we already have 45,000 users using PM Cardio for individuals. So now, through PM Cardio for Organizations, we're able to connect the whole health system to streamline patient flow. So, for example, we've already implemented this in a massive health system in Aalst, in Belgium, about 200,000 patient population, where they're using it in emergency care, they're using it in the local emergency rooms, in smaller spoke hospitals, but they also use it in the PCI hub. And now, if anyone gets a heart attack in Aalst and someone records an ECG, we're able to notify the appropriate team within the PCI side, further decreasing time to treatment for these patients. And on top of this, PM Cardio for Organizations also features a lot of exposed endpoints and APIs that can tap into further medical devices and further software. So for example, we're also planning to add support for wearable devices in the future, fewer than 12 lead ECGs and so forth, really closing the whole health system within the PM Cardio for Organizations platform. All of the ECGs that get recorded in a health system should eventually reach PM Cardio for our diagnostics and then for further care coordination and notification functionality that we've implemented over the course of the last few months. Since we implemented PM Cardio for Organizations in Belgium, in Aalst, after 9 months of usage and about 3,000 chest pain patients later, we've seen significant benefits. So we've managed to reduce the door-to-balloon time for STEMI equivalent, so this is a complicated heart attack patient cohort, from 16 hours to 3 hours post-PM Cardio implementation. We also seen a decrease in false positive cath lab activations by about 67%, and this is quite a relevant parameter because it's very expensive to activate the cath lab, falsely in the US. And it also causes a lot of physician burnout. If you get woken up at 3 a.m. in the night for nothing, you're not having a great day the following day. And on top of that, before PM Cardio implementation in Aalst, we've seen that they initially misdiagnosed up to 35% of all heart attack patients. After implementation, in the 9 months we've been live there, we haven't missed a single patient. So our next biggest milestone is getting the FDA approval. We've been in the process with the FDA for more than the last 12 months. We're on the de novo FDA pathway, and we hope to get it very soon because there is quite a lot of pressure from US institutions to already be able to use this product in a commercial and fully operational setting. So at the moment, really, the lack of the FDA approval is preventing millions in revenue coming out of the US, and it is one of the core focuses of Powerful Medical at the moment. One of our next care pathways will be heart failure, where we've already developed an algorithm for left ventricle systolic dysfunction, which currently outperforms all similar AI algorithms on the market. And we're hoping to get that certified and approved by the FDA within 2025. Now, heart failure is quite a hot topic and growing problem in the world because patients live longer. 25 years ago, when the life expectancy was 65 years old, you didn't really deal with heart failure that much. But now that the life expectancy of patients is about 85 years, you really have to identify the heart failure patients early because you will need to manage them for another 20 years. And this is really what the PM Cardio platform will also start to provide over the course of 2025.